Raymond Black. Alarms blare as you hustle Raymond from the Special Projects section of Prosperity Tower, but you encounter no resistance. Raymond unsteadily gropes his way through the corridors of the corporate headquarters, holding onto your elbow for support. Occasionally, the old man fingers the gauze dressing on his head with his free hand, wincing when he touches the tender patch. Tense minutes pass between the time you exit the building and enter the MTR station. The team remains on high alert, scanning the street and buildings and signs of sunk security forces until... Thank you. No power spellcasting. Sevion? Don't think Charisma's gonna worry. I'm gonna worry about it at this stage. I'm probably going to need a bit more health. 5 people, all reeking of Triad, huddled together next to your crew, muttering amongst themselves and pointing at the towering slum. One of them notices you and pats another on the chest with the back of his hand. It's the man who's been guarding the walled city entrance since your arrival into Hui. He acknowledges you, a look of doomed determination on his face. Miss Chang sent her regards. She told us to keep an eye out for you. What for? Miss Chang wants to know what the hell's going on inside the walled city. She sent us to find out and report to her. The Triad soldier's hand shakes. He sees you notice, and then he pulls. Then he sees you. He sees you notice them and pulls them behind his back. Wow, I cannot read tonight. She said us that if we saw you heading in there, we should go with you. We had a better chance of staying alive. She's right. The soldier's mouth freezes with a thin line. We can take care of ourselves, Westerner. He looks sidelong at his friends. But Miss Chang said to follow your orders, so that's what we're doing. We need to provide for our families. The group of Triads nod to each other in forlorn unity as they take in the panic around them. The storm, the flood of people, the towering tenement, and something else, a wave of something emanating from within. Do you feel that? Gobbet holds her stomach. Madness and Folly squeak their disapproval. It's like the walled city's bad breath or something. She groans. Ugh, it's disgusting. I don't know, unclean, just looking at the place. Like life has no value or something, like there's just no point to anything. That's the toxic G. And it is exactly the point. We need to get rid of it. Fix it at the source. If I can. Raymond stares at the walled city, taking it in for the first time. The breath hitches in his chest, but the old man grits his teeth with grim determination. The fortune engine is located at the heart of the walled city. That's where I need to go. I'll drop a marker in the center of the walled city on everyone's PDA. Lady Nightbot, we should be able to weave our way through it to the machine. Got it, let's go. Whoa, hold on a minute. You just want to rush in there? Don't we need some kind of, I don't know, plan? We can take advantage of the chaos. It may cover our approach in case someone tries to stop us. We should split up. Keep Raymond back and out of harm's way. Look around, Gunshow. This whole place is harm's way. It'll be safer if we split up. Lady Nightbot, lead some of us to clear the way to the machine. Auntie's men can follow with the rest of us, escorting Raymond once the way is secured. It's thin, but it's a plan. We improvise from there. If Dames use your comm to stay in touch. We have no idea what we're gonna face in there. I will be right behind you, Sam. Take care of yourself. You be careful too, Dad. Raymond holds your eye with a look of gratitude. The time for timidly is over. Miss Mixam faced the 5 quarters. No more cowardice. It's time for me to finally take action. Yeah, he exhales softly and stares into the walled city unflinching. This is the end of prosperity. Da, 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 da. We'll be able to hold the others off. City of Death. The typhoon pours down as the Triad soldiers fan out in front of you, leading the way into the Kulong walled city. Raymond shuffling along, alert and intent. Although exhausted by all that has gone on, he drives himself forward and will not accept help from anyone. Wu watches the windows and rooftops, his rifle never leaving his shoulders. He occasionally risks a glance at his foster father, concern, frustration, and anger playing all over his face like a slideshow. The walled city is worse than in your first visit. Even with the rain, you can feel something in the air. It's thicker now, and it clings to your skin like invisible filth. The miserable noises of slum life are gone, replaced by something worse. The sounds of death, the sounds of fear. As you round the corner, a group stops before heading in deeper. Being pumped, there's still a little bit more to this. The inner walled city, what you've seen in your dreams, feels tame by comparison. The atmosphere is humid, with the oppressive weight of despair. You can feel it bearing down on your shoulders, whispering for you to give up. Lie down, await your miserable fate. Your skin feels oily and unclean. We're finally here. Finally past the trash heap that encrusts this place. He reaches out and touches the Duraplast walls. The paint has long since chipped away, but what remains is enough to tell you that you're looking at the original exterior of Kulong Walled City. It looks much sturdier than the ramshackle construction that has grown up around it. This is what Mother and I built. What was supposed to help people. All that we wanted was to help. Very poetic. Now let's move. I'm done with the talking. I don't want to spend a second longer in this place than I have to. The Yellow Lotus 49er scans the horizon. His head on a swivel. He's full of the frenetic energy that can only come from pure terror and combat stims. Raymond doesn't move. He stands there, staring at the paint section of wall to his left. Tracing his gaze, you can see what he's looking at. It's faint, but it's there. A faded stamp of the Sang Mechanical Service logo. Even this is a nightmare now. Decrepit and rotten and falling apart. He squeezes his eyes shut. It was supposed to be a good place, a safe place. Yeah, well, it isn't. And we all know whose fault that is, don't we? Her eyes flash daggers at your adopted father. She wears her hate like a mask. He looks down at her, expressionless. Yes, and that is why I have to fix it. Sam, he needs to clear me a path to the sarcophagus that surrounds the fortune engine. It will be at the center of all of this. Please help me fix this. I can't do it by myself. That's the plan. He reaches a hand towards you, pulls it back with a pained expression. Thank you. Clear a path, my friend. I will travel with Chang's people and keep your adopted father safe. We will escort him via side streets until it is safe for us to regroup. Good luck, Ractor. To you as well. He smiles at Raymond, enthusiasm burning in his eyes. Come, Mr. Tsang. Let us see this machine that you have built. Get him there safe. We need him. He glances back at you. Come on, Lady Nightbot. Let's go. Alrighty. So they're going in there to whichever whatnottery is going on. Yellow Lotus Soldier. Stop right there. A group of Yellow Lotus 49ers is holding this entrance. Their leader, a dumpy female elf with chipped teeth and a Belfont hairdo, stumbles towards you. You drop your guns and get down on the floor. She shakes her head from side to side as if trying to clear it. A pair of bloodshot eyes roll in their sockets, without reason or purpose. Drop everything, or we gut you like pigs. I'm in too much of a rush to argue with this. Drop your weapons or die. Screaming unintelligibly, she launches herself at you. Her cohort follow behind, swinging their weapons wildly and howling for blood. Alrighty, so... Yeah, I don't know what I've done wrong here. I'm fairly certain. I'll know exactly what it is when I look at it later. Guide you, if you don't mind. Thank you. Alrighty. So we got that taken care of. We're at the last stretch of this game now. You push your way forward through the piles of filth and through the narrow gaps between the buildings, ducking under exposed sewer pipes and battered ductwork. Suddenly, you're through it and on the other side. A slender woman stands a few meters in front of you, an extravagant coat hanging behind her. Another woman approaches at a trot. She's wearing ballistic armor and she has her weapon drawn. The insignia that's been emblazoned onto her shoulder pad is familiar to you. Tsang. Hey you! She shouts at the hooded figure, her voice full of self-important prompt. You heard us. Clear this area, and do it now! The inner blocks are off limits to non-Tsang personnel. The hooded figure turns to face the approaching guard. My apologies, I got a bit lost. I'm not familiar with this area. Her tone is silky smooth and perfectly even, almost hypnotic. It's okay, but she blinks, shakes her head to clear it. Her jaw clenches and you watch her eyes refocus. She shoulders her weapon. Don't you try that on me. You make one more sound and I'm gonna... With a motion that's too quick to follow, the hooded figure lashes out, grabbing Tsang guard around the waist. She bats the startled woman's weapon out of the way with her other hand, lunges forward and sinks her teeth into her neck. A spray of arterial blood fills the air, and the guard's body goes limp. The hooded figure lets the Tsang security officer's body crumple to the floor. She sweeps back her hood and dabs at her lips with her handkerchief. Ku Feng, pleasure to meet you again. The pleasure is all mine. You're right on time, by the way. She turns the square of embroidered fabric in her hand and continues to blot the blood off her lips. Apologies for the mess. It's like eating soup dumplings. The liquid winds up getting everywhere, no matter how careful you try to be. I did not expect to hear your voice again, Queen of the Repulse Bay. Not since we concluded our lessons. What are you doing here? Why, I'm here to help you, of course, and to bask in the misery of the walled city. She shrugs, half smiling. It's quite intoxicating, you know? The poisonous energy of this place, and of the being at the center of it all. I'm surprised that you can feel it yourself. I can feel it, believe me, it's repulsive. She shrugs. Personally, I love it. The slow churn of toxic chi, the aura of doom and despair that clogs the arteries of the walled city. Maybe it's the vampire thing, yet another advantage of being undead. Yeah, maybe. In any event, let's get down to business. I have a question for you. The thing that has arrived here, this Yama King, to use the local parlance, what are your intentions for it? I'm gonna send it back to the hell that it crawled out of. Very good, in which case, I will help you. The energies that your Yama King secretes are quite delicious. I can only imagine they will become more so at the moment of her death. That's how it works with blood. Why wouldn't this be any different? I'd be honored to fight by your side. Don't tell me you're considering this. We don't know her well enough to trust her. We can't risk botching this now. Besides, she's a vampire, a parasite. She eats people like us. I am a ghoul, a despised cannibal, and yet I have not attempted to eat anyone on this team in all of our time together. Kung Feng will be much the same. If you cannot trust her, trust me. I've no problems running with a vampire. Let's get this party started. She clapped her hands together, smiling. Very good. This is going to be fun. Yeah. What have we got here? Anything? Nope, we haven't got anything. I believe this is another something or other. A lithe orc with a prominent jaw stands here, growling. Her neck tattoo marks her as the red pole in the Yellow Lotus, and the patches on her vest call her out as a resident of the Lotus Den. 5 will get you 10. That we're looking at Bao's replacement. A smaller, lankier man cowers before her. He stands clasped in supplication. A group of Yellow Lotus 49ers stand clustered around them, smirking, their weapons drawn. The Triad gang leans forward, puffing out her chest and flexing. Her muscles bulge. You hear me, dog? You want to live? You give me this shit. Otherwise, I'm gonna rip off your fingers and shove them down your throat. Tad violent? Street shaman. His eyes dart from ganger to ganger before coming back to the rest of the red pole. To rest on the red pole. Please, Song. I can't give you what you're looking for. There are plenty of people in the walled city who have a lot more to steal than I. She begins to stalk forward. Each step she counts down. 5, 4, 3. Raises his hands, bows his head. Look, I don't want any trouble. I've got no quarrel with you, and I don't have any. She takes another step. 2. Let's attack her. Oh, come on, they even gets to set up first? Come on. Ugh. Please disappeared. I can tell you're gonna be almost useless this entire time. Well, that was a miss. Oh well. 1, 2, 3. Got you. Ah, so we're all done. That was unfortunate. Isabel, got anything you can do? She lets out a chuckle. I've made a habit of cracking Tsang encryptions. It's basically as easy as flipping a switch at this point. So I flip the switch and the turrets go down. Simple. She manipulates the electrical panel in front of her, and some lights flicker and fade from the display. Done. Alright, there appears to be nothing else I can do, so I've got to go here then. Oh, alrighty. Your comlink buzzes. It's Raymond's. Still alive. Sam, what is your status? Your mother set up a cordon around the inner walled city. We just got through. Cordon? Oh my. How did you get through? We had to take them down. He lets out a sigh. Too much loss of life because of me. It was unfortunate, but unavoidable. Please, Sam, try to avoid more casualties. You need to be more careful. The nearer you draw to the Fortune engine, the worse the astral disruptions will become. And make sure that when you reach... The call cuts out. No! 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 Wu looks around with a grimace. Did that sound important to you? Because that sounded absolutely fucking necessary to me. We can't do anything about losing touch. Duncan runs a hand through his hair in frustration, but relents. At this point, the only thing we can do is move forward. So let's get to it, Lady Nightbot. The walled city's mid-ring stands tall before you. It looks even worse than what you just trekked through. A jumbled nightmare of crumbling buildings and exposed wires. A terrible sense of deja vu washes over you. You put one foot in front of the other and press further inside. Didn't sound nice. The person's doing nothing. I don't know what that is, but I don't intend to let that thing continue with whatever it is that it's doing. Damn it. Yeah, sure. Maybe she can do something. There we go. Don't know what that's about. You've been walking for what feels like hours, picking your way through the claustrophobic alleys of the inner walled city. It feels like you're traversing a war zone. Dead bodies litter the gutters. Some have been gutted by gunfire, others have suffered strange and more terrible wounds. The rattles of distant automatic weapons fire rings in your ears, intermingling with the faint screams of agony and terror. Gets better and better, doesn't it? Not a fan either, but it's too late to turn back. We're all on the same page, Lady Nightbot, whether we're want to be or not. Ahead, you can see a cluster of Tsang security personnel that look to be embroiled in some sort of argument. If they notice you at all, they don't show it. Watch and wait. As you watch, one of the officers loses his cool, starts shouting, "She's here for us." Sorry. "She's here for us. I've seen her in my dreams." Tsang soldier. What? Is here? What is here? I don't know what you're talking about, damn it. The security officer lurches towards his partner, his eyes bulging. His body language makes you think of a wounded animal, panicked, terrified, and ready to lash out at anything within reach. He shakes his head like a wet dog and focuses on the woman beside him. I know how to keep us safe. I saw how to do it. He reaches for an object that's clipped to his belt. Open your mouth. You're a crazy man. Keep away from me. Without a word, the third Tsang guard takes off, running. As if on cue, the deranged security officer takes another step forward. This is for the best. Yang, trust me. I'll do you first, and then I'll do me. Light shines on black iron. He holds a multi-tool clenched to his hand, and you can see that he's configuring it into a set of pliers. By the time By the time I'm done, she won't be able to hurt us anymore. With a flurry of emotion, the man with the pliers lunges at his companion. She drops into a fighting stance and meets him head on. Hello everyone and welcome. This game that I'm currently playing is Shadowrun Hong Kong. I probably should have opened up with that first. Jeez. But thank you very much for joining me this evening. This could be the last part of my stream. Well, of this stream. Hello, did you bug? No. You did not bug. You're just incredibly slow. Alrighty, so now it's my turn. So if I can get you to go around there. Oh my. Thank you. Not really much you can do. So you can go there for the time being. Isabel. Is there anyone over there? No. So I'll have you here. Get you over there. And you can't see. So I'll put Overwatch on. So if they peer their heads out, they'll get gutted. Or shot. Boom. Thank you. Ow, stop shooting at my friends. Whoa, okay, I was unaware that he went that far. How did I not see him there? Not that it matters at this point. You can go there. Then hopefully... Oh, that was a miss. Unfortunate. Heal up. Don't know how that doesn't. There we go. So, guide you. Just get you to cut him up a little bit. Ooh. Damn. Let's increase our accuracy. Then we can move ourselves across. Come on. Damn it! And increase your armor, eh? Alrighty, so if I can get you back over there. How are you missing? Thank you. We shall bring you back over here. And go blip. Followed by another round. Finally. There. Zoom out a little bit. Not saying security up ahead, but these ones are different. They're outfitted in heavier armor, carrying heavier artillery. They look just as addled as everyone else you've seen in the deep of the slum though. They are holding their weapons leveled at the doorway leading to the inner walled city. Mortsang troops. What are they? You hear a deafening crash from the direction of the walled city. The noise is followed by alien piping sound, unlike anything that you've ever seen. Unlike you've ever heard. At the sound of it, the Sang troops start screaming. Their faces have gone as grey as ash. You catch a glimpse of something moving towards you. Something fast that seems to defy gravity as it runs. You have a split second to process this new information before the gunfire starts. Now, what about you? Finally. Don't know why he was giving me so much trouble. He really shouldn't have. Not that it matters. Just sit here and I can wait. Isabel. I want to get you there. maybe I can do this. Well, damage is damage. And get you sprinting. You, my good sir. Oh, that was easy enough. Alrighty. Yeah. Is there much more to this? Enemy turn. As you pass into the hallway, Ku Feng brushes up alongside you. I'm afraid that we're gonna have to part ways here, Lady Nightbot. She shudders. Negative energy of this place has grown a little too strong for my liking. Oh, come on, what happened to drinking the ichor of the Yama King? Yes, well, that seemed like a good idea when I said it, but truth be told, this is all getting a bit too much for me. I really like it a lot better when I'm the only all-powerful monster queen in the building. Where's your sense of adventure? I'm sorry if my decisions disappoint you, but at the end of the day, I really don't have a horse in this race. Why should I care if the Yar Queen wants to rule a filthy slum? It's no skin off my back. I got Repulse Bay to look after. In any case, this has been a most educational experience. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. She curtsies demurely. Goodbye, Shadowrunner, and good luck. Thank you, Ku Feng. Damn it all. Let's go here. The sounds of the Typhon hammering down outside is nearly drowned out by the noise of Evicus fleeing their ordeal. The air smells of fear, bodily fluids, thrums with bass note of expectation and doom. You pause for a moment in the eyes of the hurricane. Sweet. Well, you should be able to see me finish up the rest of this game then. No word yet from Mr. Tsang. Think he ran again? Raymond won't run again, Duncan. Good. I would rather not have a showdown with that demon goddess. Shutting down the machine sounds much easier. Let's continue clearing the path. Make it easy for him to follow. The fortune engine. The deafening rattle of machine gun fire fills the air behind you, and metallic tang of blood cuts through the stench of garbage. You press forward, wading through block after block of insanity, chaos, and death. All around you, the walled city is descending into a churning cauldron of depravity and violence. The comms of no use. You've tried several times, but there's still no word from the B team. No signs of Raymond or Kindly Chang's triad soldiers. Finally, you reach the center of this hellhole, an industrial hatch with its door ajar. This is the place where Raymond Black built his infernal machine. This threshold across the Xian Ya, the queen with 1,000 teeth, clawed her way into this world. Alrighty then. Gay Day Karma. The whole read today, Fumble. The walls here are thick, steel reinforced. Braids of thick cable run across the floor, and computer equipment, now hopelessly out of date, adorns every elevated surface. Something in the distance is calling you. It's faint, but you can feel it, the bone-shaking thrum of an enormous machine. This is prosperity, just like in our dreams. He scans the room, scowling. The fortune engine has to be somewhere in this complex. We'll find the machine and secure it until Raymond arrives. Simple enough. The machine lies ahead, yes, but so does our quarry. I can smell it. The stench of something from another place. He loosens his blade in its saya. The red lacquered scabbard shimmers eerily in the light. Let us advance and meet this Yama King head on. I will paint the walls with her blood. Alrighty, so if I go here, take. I've already gone through 2 of those dock wagons, just trying to stay alive. Whew. Now let's see if I can try to get to the other side. Sweet. Let's pick it up. Take. I think that's everything that I can take from here. The door has been sealed. Looks like it's shut for quite a while. Terminal. The terminal winks to life at your approach. It's still drawing power. That's promising. Her gaze traces across the screen. Thing isn't even password locked. The display looks corrupted though. Lots of garbled text and gibberish on that screen. As long as we can open the door, we're good. We don't need it for anything else. Use the terminal. Let's find out. Prosperity Project Admiral Terminal. Gibberel, garbage, mess, words. Attempt to open the door to forging engine test bit. Here goes nothing. You select the door control from the computer's menu and command them to open. The screen flickers, then goes dark. Damn it. Let me take a look. Suddenly out of nowhere, a wave of nausea grabs you by the guts and twists. It doubles you over, then fades. What was? As you straighten, you can feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up straight. A buzzing sensation washes over you, drowning out your companion's words and filling your head with white, warm static. In the center of the room, something blossoms into the world. Hey. Hello there. The figure from the dream looms over you, enormous and alien. The creature is beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. A thing of billowing silk and carved ivory. Xian Ya stands, still as the statue, peering down at you from behind a mask of sculptured gold. Smaller spirits take up position around her, bowing their heads in deference. Duncan stares up at the enormous being, and the color drains from his cheeks. Fuck me. It's really here, the thing from our dreams. I've been looking forward to killing this thing all day. Slowly, with a broad, languid motion, Xian Ya's body begins to shift. The crescent-shaped ivory horns that crown her head cut through the light as she moves, casting strange shadows on the walls behind her. You there. You are here. The voice that pours from behind the thing's mask is indescribably beautiful. The tones are high and musical, and seem to hang in the air long after she finished speaking. You have come to us. In the corners of the room, servitor creatures echo their queen's words, the garbled sounds piping through the gaps of their enamel-lined carapaces. Come to us. We called to you across the breadth of space and time. And now you are here, standing before us, just as you were meant to be. You're not a god or a queen, Xian Ya. You're nothing but a glorified parasite. The thing begins to cackle. Its body shatters as the light peels out of it. The meat presumes to lecture us, spews its ignorance like bile. Watch your tongue, slave thing, or we will twist it around our finger. Slave thing. The Yama King spreads its arms, its movement full of malevolent grace. You belong here with us, little puppet, in our court and in our larder, now and for all time. I'm not your slave. In fact, I'm here to make a deal with you. I'm gonna blow you back from whatever hell you crawled out of. You kill us? The thing cackles, its throat pulsing rhythmically. The sounds catches in your spine like a razor blade. Oh, the noises you make. Such sweet, foolish sounds. The slave thing thinks that it can kill us. It is mistaken. It can't even comprehend us. Xianya's iridescent gown parts as she raises a forearm. Your mind rebels against the alien biology that you see underneath. The wet, glistening crenellaceous of flesh, enamel, and keratin that make up for the Yama King's body. It is chattel, meat, and we have been starving for 1,000 years. The music tones of the thing's voice are high-pitched and giddy. It opens its arms to you, offering a view of the cherish-like teeth that protrude from its flesh. Archie stares up at the creature, grunts. Impressive. The Queen of 1,000 Teeth lowers her head, and the unnaturally thick air turns rank and cold. Waves of nausea racks your stomach as a foul wind slides over you like mud. We will rip out your nerves at the root, milk the misery from your protesting body. Her glistening claws weave strange patterns in the air. We will feast on your sorrow, now and forever. Alright, let's get you to run there. And then run back. What have I got? Damn it. Oh, what? Fine then. Other side blocked. I'm not done with you yet. Come back over here. And let's get you over here. Can I see this one? No. At the very least, it soaked up 2 attacks. Damn it. Oh well. Kaiju's coming back, which is good. Alrighty, so... Damn, that is a nice bit of damage. I forgot he was there. I should probably deal with him. May not be a fantastic amount of damage, but it's still something. I don't know, the mathematics of adding things up is a bit strange to me as well. Come on, Gaiju, you've got this. Alright, so if we can go. Alright, so he's cowering. I think I might need to finish these other ones off. Alrighty, so if I move you there. Alrighty. So if I get you, little miss, to try to... what? Line of sight blocked. Damn it. Can just stay there for a little bit. Little bit of damage. Could have sworn I saw something there. Oh well. Fine. Finally, as you watch, I think it's Shanya's blast marked and broken body begins to reform. Her gown knits itself back together, black blood wicking onto the floor. Slowly, terribly, she begins to laugh. Ha 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 ha. You cannot kill us, meat. You have not even seen us. Her voice fills with mockery. This form is but a shadow, a droplet of divine essence filtered through a keyhole. Gaichu's milky eyes sweep across the room. His lip curls into a frown. She is speaking the truth, after a fashion. That crumpled thing is not Xianya, any more than those servitor spirits are. They are small fragments of a single whole. The corpse eater sees. He glimpses us as we really are. Were you to behold our full magnificence, your mind would wring itself into a pulp. The crumpled form of Xianya begins to rise. You will see, slave thing. We will show you a world not meant for mortal eyes. You will see! I guess that we're going in. Right, what's in here first? Saw a little hand symbol over there, but it looks like he's not going to give it to me. Okay, what have we got? This definitely feels like danger. Just a little bit. And I think it's a good idea for me to hide over here. Ah. Oh no. Oh dear. This does not feel safe. This does not feel safe at all. Duncan can go here. Let's get rid of this thing that I won't be able to get. Ow! Ow. So, do I... Yep, let's heal Gaichu, the damage that he was taking. Alrighty. Okay. I mean, that's something. I don't know if this is going to work. Well, that's something, I guess. Ow. Okay, so I want to go over here. Four HP per round. That sounds significantly better. Run away! Ooh, hit her. Come on, I need to get rid of this guy. Yep, there we go. Finally. least that's damage. Killed one. Can I... somehow I can see her? That's 15 damage. Alrighty. What have you got? You've got quite a few. Okay. Come on, Gaichi, you've got this. Okay, that was blocked. Let's increase his armor. Let's hit her again. Still better than nothing. Line of sight is blocked, so I have to go there for the time being. Let's go for it. Oh, you missed. This is a good sign. And you're going into a corner. Oh, that should do for the time being. What have I got? And Isabella doesn't really have much. Duncan, however, can go here. He's still got some health on him. Didn't want you to go out in the middle of nowhere. Back. Oh, she can't move. Excellent. Really? Missed? Can't see. Those line of sight is a thing. Block damage, but I'm still gonna heal, which is good. Oh wow, really? Just because I blocked her off, she can't do anything. Yeah, it does get a little bit funky. Damn it. She can't have that much health left. She's got 4 left. I did it! Woo! Died to a pistol shot. Nice. As the Yama King's body crumples, a cackling sound fills the air. Once again, her broken body begins to knit itself back together. The flow of black ichor from her many wounds slows to a stop and reverses. The vicious fluid snakes its way back into the holes and ruptures that it poured from. Damn it! Projections on top of projections. All aspects of our divine being shed as easily as a lizard sheds its tail. Her voice is ripe with mockery. You cannot harm us, meat, but you have amused us. Kianya holds, her crowned head cocking to one side. Perhaps you are worthy of an audience after all. Perhaps. Her voice trails off and her head tilts upward. From behind you can see her. You can hear the pounding sound of approaching footsteps. Da-da-da-da. As she falls into position behind you, Gobbett's jaw drops open. Raymond Black steps forward, a look of grim determination on his face. Oh, that's isn't good. She shrinks back as Xianya turns to face her. Her voice is full of awe and terror. That isn't good at all. I did this. I brought this creature here. He speaks in a grim tone of a man on his way to the gallows. His complexion has gone grey as ash. My fault. My responsibility. The Queen with 1,000 Teeth cackles with glee. It has returned to us, the tunnel builder, the architect of my ascendancy. Ascendancy. The creature leans in toward Raymond. Its spidery fingers weave hypnotically. The thing's robes billow like the bell of a jellyfish, pulsing organically with the rhythm of a heartbeat. You will have a special place in our court, Builder. You will stand by our side, exalted for all time, a living token of our unending rule, and an undying symbol of the folly of man. You have been a fool. Sorry, I have been a fool. Yes. His hands clench into fists so tight that his knuckles go white. The skin on his face is flushed with the effort of fighting through it, stammering, jumbling his words. A great fool, but I will not be your slave. I will stop you. The Queen with 1,000 Teeth leans forward, her moment full of alien grace, her movement filled with alien grace. The gaping crescent of her mouth parts into a ghastly smile, and you can see row upon row of fangs. They run down her throat in overlapping layers, a bristling forest of glistening, sharpening enamel. Leave him alone. You are talking to me, remember? She steeples her fingers. Their hardened tips click against one another like the sound of grinding teeth. You are bold meat, but you are also correct. We do not break our promises, and you have earned some mediocre of respect. Xianya turns her full attention back to you, and the smile widens. You can feel it deep in your gut. It tunnels into you like a lamprey, leaving you feeling empty and cold. In truth, you amuse us. Your persistence in the face of inevitable is a place to behold. And so, we have decided to grant you a rare honor. We offer you a deal. I don't want to deal with you, parasite. I want to destroy you. The cackling laugh returns, raising the hair on the back of your neck and sending a shiver down your spine. What you want is immaterial. You are impotent to harm us. Impotent to harm us. Meat. Surely that is clear by now. We offer you a choice. Hear our deal or be destroyed. Attacker, you say that you can't be killed. Let's put that to the test. A pity. A shame. You could have had everything that your heart ever desired. She clicks her tongue at you, a hollow resonant sound. Instead, you will suffer as no living being has ever suffered before. Her robes shimmer again, and the claws come out. Once again, her voice growls into a deafening roar. We will suckle the sorrow until the sun turns to dust. Alrighty. Got you. You're up, buddy. Come on. Isabel can go over here. You can come over here, my good sir. Ah, yes, you. But let's get you. Yeah, thought you'd miss. Never mind. Let's just put some holes in you. And gob it. Let's get that rat totem going. Oh, doesn't work the way I thought it would. Oh well. Oh, damn. Alright. There we go. Right. Let's keep going. At least Gaiju is safe. As you watch, the Yama King's broken carcass withers and dissipates. Seconds later, all that's left of her is a cloud of rancid mist. That was easier than I thought it'd be. I guess that she was hurt worse than she let on, trying to trick us into taking a bad deal. It doesn't mean that she won't come back. All we've done is buy ourselves some time. I believe that you're correct. He points at the dingy terminal just in front of the towering machine. The control console is just over there. We must move quickly. And Gaiju snapped out of it. The Fortune engine itself stands before you, an enormous malevolent presence that fills the test chamber ahead. Raymond pushes forward, leaning in to study the control console, with a look of determination on his face. I will close the rift. I just need... He bends over the terminal, frowning. His eyes dart from readout to readout as you watch the blood drains from his cheeks. What's wrong? Destroy the thing before she comes back. I can't. He gestures to the technical readouts on the 14 engine's monitor. There is no way flow of astral... There is a one-way flow of astral energy moving from the inner walled city to the tunnel. I know what it is. Gobbet wrinkles her nose and gets a far-away look. She sways for a moment and speaks as if in a dream. I can feel it. I can feel it too. The energy is coming from the people that she's feeding on. Their essence, their spirits, for lack of a better word. She sways a while longer, a puzzled expression on her face. If I destroy the machine now, it will collapse the tunnel. All those people will have a better part of their essence. Will be the better part of their essence. What makes them what they are, trapped inside with her forever. Thousands of people condemned to eternity of that parasitic thing. Do we have another option? Raymond squeezes his eyes shut, works it through. Yes, someone could enter the tunnel, close the rift safely. The people would be saved, restoring to life in the real world. And what happened to the person in the tunnel? He stays there forever with her. His shoulders sag. There's no way out once the tunnel is closed. There is a long pause as an assembled group digests Raymond's words. Duncan nods to himself, his jaw clenched. He pushes forward. I'll do it. Just tell me what button to press. The old man stares at the control. Cold fear washes across his face. No. If anyone is to do this, it must be me. His voice strengthens and you can see the old fierceness rising from within, the iron will of your childhood. It will be me. Don't do this, Ray. No, not Ray. My name is Edward Sang, and I built this machine. I set this avalanche in motion, whether I meant it or not. It is my responsibility to stop it. He turns to you, a look of resignation on his face. That is what this is all about. What it's been about since the very beginning. Raven, listen to me. You're too weak for this. Just tell me what to do. No, the Yama King could return at any moment. There is no time to teach you what to do in there. I must set things in motion. It must be me. He turns to you. Goodbye, Sam. He smiles sadly. Thank you for coming to Hong Kong. Thank you for coming when I called. Goodbye, Dad. The old man flips a lever on the steps into the machine. There is a flash of light, and Raymond Black is gone.
Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story. That if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. My past is a terrible story. I didn't expect it to end with redemption. Sometimes the debts of the past can't be repaid. But we do what we can. I have done what I can to right my wrongs. And I accept the consequences.
Aftermath. You'll depart from the Prosperity Chamber and are instantly caught up in the wave of refugees fleeing for their lives, struggling through the panicked wave of humanity. You are able to retrace your steps and eventually reach Hue. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. The newly homeless crowd the streets, dazedly wandering, searching for missing loved ones and nursing injuries. Relief workers are already on the scene, providing blankets and medical aid. Rescue personnel carry the streets and wounded to safety. The entire area has been cordoned off by the HKPF, while knight errant officers and military peacekeeping force attempt to maintain order. I better not finish the end of that. Don't want to get in trouble. Alrighty. You emerge from Kulong City Wall to bustling clusters of activity. Refugees huddling together, staring back at their lost homes. Government troops deployed from the armored personnel carriers. News vans setting up remote camera feeds while reporters scramble to find the right angle for their broadcast. In the air is electric. The air is electric with the threat of potential violence as panicked peacekeepers eye the growing crowd of evacuating poor. Gobbett's eyes dart furtively as she turtles her head between her shoulders. This place looks hot. The cops are swarming the place, and that APB is still out on us. Just take it easy, try to blend into the crowd. I want to have a look around. Not the best time for sightseeing, Lady Nightbot. The place is crawling with badgers. Isabel lifts her nose towards the reporting, interviewing someone from inside the walled city. Looks like we get to see a show, though. That reporter already has his hooks in someone. hoping for some bite. The reporter wears a look of earnest concern, like a coat of cheap deodorant. And is that when you started running? Yeah, it was bad in there, shooting, screaming. I was terrified. And what was the cause of this, sir? Why are the people flooding out of the walled city, injured and disorientated? The man stares at the scene around him, bewildered. It's like everyone said, some sort of chemical leak, a drug lab exploded or something, caused mass hallucinations. The reporter turns to the camera, pretends to check his notes. And there you have it, Sonny. Our third report of mass hallucinations and violence caused by an explosive explosion in an illegal drug lab. And while reports remain sketchy, it appears that street crime is again on the rise. He half turns and sweeps his arm over the scene. As you can see, it is still turmoil and confusion here as the police and executive council peacekeepers respond to the emergency situation, attempting to maintain order. But in all of this chaos, in the maze of property that is Kulong Walled City, we may never know what really happened in there. Back to you, studio. Sonny. Back to the studio, Sonny, I should say. The light on the news camera goes off and the reporter drops his facade. He ignores the bedraggled man beside him and begins to pack up his equipment. After a moment, he sees you looking at him and turns to you. What are you looking at? Mass hallucinations. Do you believe the story? No, I don't believe the story. He laughs sardonically and continues packing. I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, I'm a full feed me your line of corporate bullshit? No. Sorry. Am I wearing a t-shirt that says, I'm no fool, feed me your line of corporate bullshit? No. But in my experience, the rest of the world is. Everything you see, everything you've been taught, every official you elect, all bought and paid for by the people pulling the strings. Yeah, well, no one's telling me what to think. No eye contact. He remains bent over his equipment case. Of course not, pal. You're different. The reporter finishes packing and stands up straight, brushing the wet grit off the street of his hands. As he does so, his eyes narrow. His gaze moves over your crew, flickering from face to face before eventually landing on you. Looks like you just came from inside. So tell me, what did you see in there? A result of corporate greed on the little people. You had to go in the walled city to see that? It's 2056. Greed is a little engine that makes the world go round. He shrugs. And I'm sure this has something to do with some corp experiment on the people in the walled city. It's like their little petri dish. They love using them like lab rats in there. They test food additives, body modifications, pharmaceuticals, whatever some junior exec can dream up. Nothing surprises me anymore. What about the truth? The truth isn't my business. Ad revenue is my business. Do you have any idea how much competition there is for eyeballs these days? News is nothing more than content. Just like the new what the hell? Memai Canyon Flesh BTL Urban Brawl Broadcaster or Maria Mercial Simpson's Experience. Everyone on this island knows that my news service is just a mouthpiece for the Executive Council. Hell, if you look close enough, you'll probably find that it's owned by the member of the Executive Council. People buy what we feed them because the word is changing. The world is changing, and it's scary. They feel small. They need scapegoats to blame, and authority figures to tell them what to think. My news network gives them that. He points to the tread screen mounted on the side of his news van. And there's a prime example of an authority figure. Joe Tsang, rising star of the Executive Council. Just look at her spinning this to her own ends, talking about the humanity relief effort she's mounting, you know? I don't know. Your comm chirps. It's kindly Chang. Go ahead and take your comm. I'm gonna go before this scene turns into some kind of riot. It usually does. I don't know what was that sentence. Hello, Auntie. Don't hello Auntie me. I've lost contact with the soldiers that I sent to the World City, and you know these Sang assholes and the government troops are all over the place. Get over here and tell me what the hell happened. The way. Words from me or words from him? I don't know anymore. Isabel tugs at your arm, her eyelids at half mast. I want to sleep for about a year. I'm heading to the Bolt Hole, Sam. I could use some sack time too. I'll see you there. You better go and talk to Auntie, Seattle. I don't know, but... Mahjong parlor. The commotion from the streets of Wei bleeds into Kindly Cheng's Mahjong parlor. Dread soldiers bustle to keep up with the boss's orders. Couriers come in regularly, whispering to her lieutenant before listening intently and running off again. Kindly Cheng. As you enter, Kindly Cheng is giving instructions to Strangler Bao, who nods enthusiastically. She looks over at you and holds her hand up. Wait. And send Wong and Ho to snatch some of those medical supplies off the relief truck. With all the excitement, nobody's watching them at all. She nods to herself, grimace in satisfaction. There'll be a big black market for them over the next few weeks. Good thinking, Miss Cheng. Bell lifts his finger to his ear to transmit the orders. When he sees you waiting, his eyes narrow to sharp slits of malice, but he continues his work. Lady Nightbot, I figured you were dead. Last I heard, some of my soldiers have found you and everyone was heading into the walled city. Then things got out of control. She takes a pull on her thin black cigar. Where are my people? What the hell happened? We got separated at the walled city. Found out later they were killed. Her eyes are hard little black buttons. Is that how you treat my resources? Please accept my apologies, Miss Chang. She takes another drag of her cigar, inhales the smoke through her nose. So you do have something to apologize for. That's not what I meant. She taps her ash on the floor. Well, they knew the risk. They had a shot at moving up, and they missed. Forget them. I've got bigger problems, like customers and tenants streaming out of the walled city, screaming for their lives like the HKPF and those Sang security shitheels swarming the place. She drops the stub of her cigar into an ashtray. Now tell me what the hell happened in the walled city, or do I have to get an acetylene torch to ask nicely? A new tenant tried to move in. The big, bad, terrifying, and from another dimension. Kindly Chang's eyes get big at that. What kind? A Yama King. Xianya, the queen with 1,000 teeth. Never heard of her. He picks up a bottle of foul spirits and studies the label. Her rusty, mean voice drops low. But I know the Yama Kings. My grandmother used to try to scare me with stories about them. I guess that she thought she was teaching me something by scaring the shit out of me. She chuckled softly. I remember one Yama specifically. Fu Mang, the serpent of the setting sun. Oh yes. Fu Mang promised wealth and influence for those willing to do what was necessary to take it. Her voice turns wistful. The story of Fu Mang spoke to me. All he asked for in return were 44 hearts pulled from the chest of those closest to you, while they were still alive. Hearts from random victims wouldn't do, so those who took Fu Mang's bargains would befriend others before taking their hearts. turning their entire network into a list of victims. Yes, Fu Meng spoke to me, but I didn't listen. Strangler Bao leans in, his finger in his ear. My apologies, Miss Chang, but one of the men you sent with the runners into the World City is still alive. He stumbled into Wong and Ho as they were pulling medical supplies off the lorry. Jing turns to you with an edge in her voice. At least one came back alive. Strangler Bao lowers his head, listens to the earpiece again. Our man says that Wong Lun Fat is dead. He got shot up by the HKPF inside the walled city. Bao lifts his head and makes eye contact with the Triad boss. He's almost salivating with avarice. Our man saw it with his own eyes, Miss Chang. That sounds good. Does it make up for your dead soldiers, Auntie? It wipes the slate clean, darling. Oh, yes. You see, Wong Lun Fat was my superior in the Yellow Lotus A438. Currently, Chang black button eyes sparkle with satisfaction, born of malice. It was also a pig. Tell our friend Lady Nightbot what that means, Mr. Bao. A wolfish smile spread across her face, and her eyes squeeze into crescent moons of pleasure. And say it slow so I can savor it. The death of Wong Lun Fat has opened a spot for you to move up, madam. You could be next 438. Bao smiles. The effects is chilling. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Mr. Bao, put every man we have on this. Spread the word, kindly. Chang says all debts to the Yellow Lotus are suspended for citizens of the walled city until order is restored, and no interest will compound either. Tell them that I have medical supplies too, and there will be no charge for them until the crisis is over. I don't know how they curve with pleasure, to be honest. And after the crisis is over, when the laws of supply and demand take over, my darling, once I convince the relief force that order has been restored in the walled city, they pull out, thankful to be away from there. Within a week, the public will forget about the refugees and the government will be pleased that their budget is no longer being drained by the poor. Medical supplies will dry up overnight, and prices will soar. It may not have brought Josephine Sang down, but I've got my career going again. She grabs a bottle and unscrews the cap with her thumb. Your career too, Mr. Bao. You'll be my new straw sandal. Good partners support one another. Bao lowers his head in respect. You have proven that, Miss Chang. This calls for a drink. The soon-to-be 438 pours 2 shots into the stink of kerosene stabs your nose with. Kerosene stabs you in the nose like a switchblade. She hands the glass to Bao, touches it with her own, and holds it there. Your loyalty and clear-headedness have proven immensely valuable, Mr. Bao. You are an effective ally, and I wish to greet wealth with good fortune. Lay down the foul substance in one gulp. Looks like you two are moving up in the world. Yes, and it appears your fortune is changing too, Lady Nightbot. She pours herself another drink and leaves it sitting on the table. Remember, you have a mysterious benefactor, one who lifted the APB on you. Any idea who that might be? I don't have a clue, and I admit that bothers me. It must be somebody powerful. I can't imagine it was Josephine Sang after all. What would her motivation be? It's gotta be someone else. Yeah, well, it's not like I've made a lot of friends since we hit town. I'll tap my network, find out what I can. Kindly pulls out another thin black cigar. But that's for later. I'm missing an entire piece of your story, my darling. What happened in Prosperity Tower? Did you rescue Raymond Black? Did his mother wipe his memory? We got him. Stopped his mother from wiping his memory. Impressive. You have become quite the Shadowrunner, Lady Nightbot. She lights the cigar, a gleam of hunger in her shiny black eyes. While you were in Prosperity Tower, did you find any incriminating data on Josephine Sang? Dirt? Something I can use? Sorry, Auntie. Prosperity Tower was just too hot. All this bullshit and I didn't get anything? She grabs a handful of mahjong tiles and drops them onto the table, one by one. Fine. No sense of crying over that. I have a business to do. I need to focus on bringing order back to the walled city and back to the walled city and prestige to the Yellow Lotus. That will cement me in my new position. Now, before I get back to business, I must know, how did you go from rescuing Raymond Black to the walled city vomiting people? Ray built a machine in the walled city. It accidentally summoned a big bad thing. That's when everybody ran. The Triad boss cocks her head, raises her cigar to her lips. If the demon summoning was accidental, what was his machine supposed to do in the first place? It created fortune. Your foster father created a magical fortune machine? The Triad boss cocks her head, raises her cigar to her lips. Please tell me you have control of this device. Please tell me you brought it to me. Nope, sorry. That's a pity. I'm sure there are plenty of people who could benefit from it. Well, this business has certainly proved lucrative for me. Currently, Chang studies the glowing tip of her black cigar. I'm prime position to be the next Yellow Lotus 438, and I only lost 4 men. Yeah, well, Raymond didn't make it. He had to sacrifice himself to stop the demon. Did he? Maybe that's what he came here to do. She lowers her eyes and her voice softens. Everyone makes their choices, my sweet, and everyone pays the consequences. Even you someday. You've made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Lady Nightbot. Many Shadowrunners completed in a very short time. The reports from our clients are glowing, mostly. Don't forget what we did in the walled city. That could have gotten nasty if it weren't for us. It could have been worse, I suppose. For some, for a while. Triad boss leans in and her voice becomes conspiratorial. Listen to me, my sweet. When I was a girl, there had never been a pandemic like Vetus. But in 2010, it happened. We'd never seen death like that. A quarter of the world's population disappeared. It was miserable. It pushed us to our limits. But the survivors moved on. And then the spike babies started appearing. And the dwarf babies. And then suddenly there were dragons and goblinization and magic. And every time the world changes, we got used to it. So if the demon goddess decided that the walled city was her new living room, and you didn't, whatever you did, what would have happened? She shrugs, sniffs. Perhaps the news would cover it, until the next sensation pulled their attention away. But after a while, it would be drowned out by all the other crap competing for our attention. And the demon in the walled city would become the new normal. Well, the new normal is that the walled city isn't under magical influence anymore. Congratulations! The poor can return to their misery with no interference from magical machines or big bad things because of you. Now let me give you a piece of advice for the future, my sweet. Something Mr. Chang used to tell me. Respect ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. It sounds like you almost lost your ass in the walled city. I think you'd best listen to that. So there is a Mr. Chang? Kindly smiles mischievously. There have been many Mr. Changs, my darling, but none of them lasted long. She stubs out her cigar, screws the top back on her bottle. Now get some sleep, Lady Nightbot. You look like shit. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the future. Last time you told me to go to bed or wake up a Shadowrunner. What will happen when I wake up tomorrow? We get to work, my darling. You heard Mr. Bao? She dips her finger in her empty glass, finds the last drop of liquor, and brings it to her mouth. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Kindly Cheng turns away, dismissing you with a wave. Bao, what's the status on the medical supplies? Objective, go to bed. To ponder. Your bunk on the trawler lies white, patient and seductive. It beckons with the promise of escape. Go to sleep and finish the campaign. You drop your head into the pillow and haul the rough naval blanket over you. The boat hold rocks like a cradle, and moments later you're wrapped in comfort arms of sleep. There are no nightmares, only shadows. The story of the Walled City riots circulated local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and those that do, even fewer care. By the end of the month, the city is back to business as usual. In Hue, the flow of refugees eventually slowly slows to a trickle. Those who do escape tell stories of terrifying demon goddesses, and of an old man who sacrificed his soul to banish her. Their mad ramblings are generally met with pity or contempt. After the incident of the Walled City, the lucky streak that propelled Sang Mechanical Services into the limelight slowly comes to an end. While the CEO, Joseph Sang, remains a beloved public figure, her influence begins to wane, and she is eventually removed from the Executive Council. Within 3 years of the Walled City riots, Sang Mechanical Services loses its AAA status. From this point on, it is widely considered to be a B-grade corporation. Hue remains a safe port of call for smugglers, gangsters, and Shadowrunners alike. You are no exception. The shadows here welcome you in a way that Seattle never did. You earned respect of your fixer, your clients, and your community. And now that the APB on you and your team has been lifted by parties unknown, you are free to operate openly in Hong Kong. This place is yours now, your home. So, what we ended up doing tonight is that we finally took out the 1,000 Teeth monster boss, the god. So, with that out of the way, I'd like to say thank you everyone for coming in. And the Stream Penguin loves each and every one of you, wishes you the good seas and all the plushy hugs that you can ever need. Until next time, I love yous all and have a good evening. See yous!